Yo, what's good? Welcome to Paint, where we paint interviews. Today we got
Alejwho.
Yo, what's good, man? Thank you
What's up, brother?
so much for showing up today. We appreciate it so much.
pleasure.
Who are you? Where are you originally from?
All right, well, born and raised Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
I pretty much grew up in the South Bay of southern Los Angeles.
Okay.
I'd say it cuts off pretty much around the 105, right at once you pass the 105 going south, you're pretty much in the South Bay. South Bay is like Torrance, Palos Verdes, like Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach. So I kind of grew up near the beach.
Okay, all right. How was it growing up near the beach? What was some of the, what's some of the lifestyles? Was it different? Being raised around there. There's probably gonna be people watching this who are either city kids who probably never been to the beach before.
Yeah.
What's some of your perspective on that?
Well, I'd say for most part of my life, I didn't really like going to the beach. Like, I was just like, I'd go with my family once in a while, and it'd be chill, and other times it'd be like, I want to go home, or like I got sand in my ass, and you know what I mean, like. So but as I've gotten older and like started to like discover more of the beach and what it has to offer, I love it. I love it so much, and that's one of the biggest reasons why people move out here, is to go to the beach, to be closer to the beach. And I just, it's almost hard to be like mad at the beach if you've ever been. Like, think about it, like it's hard to stress while you're at the beach.
Yeah, no, just be like relaxing and stuff.
Exactly.
No, man, but that's like super awesome to hear. That perspective.
Thank you.
On the beach and stuff. But like, how is it? Also like growing up in LA. Like, what was it like? Your younger years. Whether it's elementary, middle school, and high school. Can we get that perspective?
Yeah, for sure. Growing up here in LA it's been incredibly interesting, I'd say. I mean, what you see on TV and like this like huge concept of what LA is half true, I'd say.
Okay.
It is almost like living in a movie here.
Okay.
The thing is, growing up, like, I saw so many different types of life out here. Like, income-wise and area-wise, it's just, there's thousands of stories going on here. Like, thousands, hundreds, millions of stories being written every day here. And so that influenced me as a kid to just like explore and to love and appreciate life.
It's awesome.
So my childhood here pretty much gave me this passion for life that I have now. And I loved it. I love growing up here. The weather's amazing, bro.
No, man, that's awesome though. But like, how was it also like in school? Like being younger. What was some of your, some of your inspirations, or what were some of your hobbies? What did you like doing as a kid?
For sure. Well, I grew up playing soccer and doing like a lot of like extracurricular activities and stuff. But soccer was pretty much the biggest one.
Yeah.
My brother played professional club for a while, and that was like a lifestyle that we kind of lived.
Wow.
Always going to traveling games and like going.
Was it competitive between you and your brother?
Hell yeah, he's a Barcelona fan and I like Real Madrid, so sometimes it's hard. We clash head to head. That's like the two biggest rivals in Spain, Spanish soccer. Yeah. Which is super huge. And but yeah, a lot of inspirations have been from film. A lot of like of my biggest inspirations of life have been through what I've seen in cinema and what actors can bring in terms of like creating art. Okay. Huge influence on me.
Okay, no, that's awesome. So was cinema something you were into as a younger kid? Were you already like, yo, I love film? Did you have any like cartoon shows or films that you were like, yo, like this is why I like film today, as a kid, what were some of your favorite, TV shows or films, movies and genres, or directors, if you have any?
For sure, yeah. I didn't really watch a lot of cartoons growing up. I didn't watch a lot of TV. I was like playing a lot more like outside,
Yeah.
And like running around and doing sports and stuff. And I still don't really watch a lot of TV actually, but the coolest cartoon character that comes to mind, Samurai Jack. That dude is sick. That dude is so sick. And I used to watch a couple episodes a day sometimes, and I would just like be fascinated by his slickness, his like depth, you know.
Yeah, and also like
capability.
to even add on like the film as well. Like Samurai Jack, the way it was shot, like they even have like amazing like cut scenes, and like I know they got inspiration from like Kill Bill as well.
Yes,
with,
bro.
You know the way, you know, I think his name is Tedawaski. I might have probably butchered his name. Probably put it somewhere on the screen.
I don't
But
know,
you know,
bro.
he also made an awesome. They also made another awesome series called Prehistoric, where it's like a caveman and a dinosaur as well. You know, adding on to this Samurai Jack thing. Yeah, but you can
Yeah.
continue also. You know, as a youth, you know, who are some also your favorite movies and film directors as well?
Yeah, dude. There's only one film that takes the cake from me. That's The Aviator.
Okay.
Martin Scorsese. I think is one of the most complete films ever made. But I don't really have many favorites.
Yeah.
I'd say in terms of like film, it's there's too many, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's too many. But Martin Scorsese for me has made some of the most impactful films in my life, I'd say.
How come?
Well, I mean, just nobody does cinema like Martin, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody does cinema like Marty, I'd say. It's just he does it differently. But
Yeah.
I think I've been a lot more influenced by music recently. That has been a huge part of my life, and I've started to like feel music for the
Yeah.
first time. Because growing up, I would just know music and listen to the radio and like, you know how it was 2010 to 2013, those like years.
Yeah.
And now though, it's like so different for me. I like feel music in my body when I listen to it, and I'm able to create this like vibe of pure relaxation and just bliss
Yeah.
most of the time if I'm like with my music, you know. I love it.
No, most definitely, man. No, that's super awesome. Like this music. So you talk about film and music. Like, how do they blend in together with some of the stuff you do as well? You know, being younger, were you in any like, you know, like shows, or were you ever performing? You know, did that ever like bleed into any did that ever bleed into any like performances you did to help you become who you are currently? Can we get like a little backstory?
Sure. Yeah. I honestly did like a lot of shows in high school. I did a lot of plays. I did some theater, and that kind of really influenced my life to pursue acting as a career, because beforehand I had only just fascinated over acting by watching it through film, but I had never really done it. I like made little YouTube videos with my brother and sister, and like, you know, we were like goofing around and stuff, like editing on iMovie and Final Cut Pro, but I had never done any film as a kid. I don't think that it was my time. I don't think I was really ready to do professional work as a child, because I've heard like a lot of bad stuff about child actors and where they are now and as they're adults, and so I think it was a good thing. But I did do a lot of plays in high school, and that really kind of kick-started this like passion for being a storyteller and a performer.
Okay, with that passion and being a storyteller, you know, where has that led you currently? You know, through through social media. You know, have you been, you know, pushing your platform on that? Can we get some like areas? Are you know, was it a YouTube? Was it on Vine? Did you start on MySpace?
No,
you know, like
dude.
you know, like where's the time where you're like, yo, I want to showcase not just, you know, my town or my friends, but the internet, who I am, what am I doing? Can we get like a first story of that? Did you ever have like your viral moment where you're like, oh my goodness, like, yo, people are really rocking with who I am? Can we get a little backstory on that?
Yes, bro. Well, I loved Vine when it came out. That was so much fun, bro. There had never really been anything like that. And I remember like going to family parties and just waiting to see my cousins and like show them like my liked Vines. It's so easy to laugh when you see stuff like that, you know, like people putting in creative work to make other people's day and stuff. So honestly, like I've had a lot of negative thoughts on social media. I really don't. I still to this day think it's not a healthy thing. It's not regulated in a healthy way or used in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Especially in adolescence. But I have sort of found my like way in terms of using my social media to promote like good energy and good things.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I started, I just was like chilling one day and I posted a TikTok and it just blew up, you know, like how it does on the app. And next thing you know, I was just like vibing with it, like feeling it out and posting stuff and seeing what worked. And then I just found out that like all I got to do is really be myself. And I'm just this goofy guy, so I'll just be myself and do these weird ass things. And then I've been blowing up on TikTok recently.
So how is that feeling, you know, being able to blow up on TikTok early, you know, like for people, I feel like for young adolescents that are currently watching, it's probably like, you know, what's the feeling of getting your first like viral moment? Like how did you get like a burst of dopamine, serotonin, you know, like how did that feel? Like, was it overwhelming? Can you give some advice? Or, because I know there is the goods, but there's also the stress that comes behind it, you know. Can you get a little bit on that?
Totally. I'd say personally for me, I was more like,
oh yeah, and also before we answer that, can you describe, you know, what was the video that went viral for you? What was it that you did?
Yeah, sure. There's this video of my mom and I in the kitchen, and she's cooking cooking dinner, and I'm like being all sweet and funny, and then she turns around and I make this scream face at the back of her head, like, and she doesn't see it, and I'm like in the back of her head, and then she turns around and I'm just like chilling, like, what? And it's just funny as hell, and everybody thought it was funny, and I see so many comments. They're like, oh, I do that to my mom, I do that to my mom. So like I made something that happened to be accidentally relatable. I didn't know that everybody screamed at the back of their mom in the back of the head, you know. But no, that was my thing. And like when I saw it, I wasn't really like freaking out or like geeking out about it. I was just like, whoa, I guess this is funny.
Because it was something you prepped for, and also it's because I think too. Also, you're saying, you know, your film background, your drama background. It seems like you were already. It's almost like you were prepped to be showcased in front of an audience. Is something where you're like, yo, I'm comfortable. I can jump into this, because you know there's people that they do get viral moments and they don't know how to handle that. You know, there is a lot of stress behind that. So you know, continuing on that, how do you overcome that feeling of, you know, viralness, or you know, handling that?
That's a good question. Honestly, I just feel like it really kind of comes to me. Like I have felt really comfortable in front of crowds, and you know, and just being a performer in general. And the internet for me, like, it kind of just doesn't scare me, you know. And I don't really get a lot of stage fright, because at the end of the day, things are just like, things are things. They're just posts, you know. It's like, it's just a video, it's just a picture, you know what I mean? Like, it's not supposed to be this life-changing thing, I don't think, you know. But for some people it is. It's true. For me, I'm just having fun. I'm just super comfortable and just like enjoying it, you know? Yeah, man. So I just chill, and any advice I give to people trying to like handle stress in terms of getting like a, you know, viral video and stuff, it's just relax, you know, take it easy. Don't let it get to your head too much, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, words are words and pictures are pictures. You're gonna get a lot of comments, and some of them are gonna be good, some of them are gonna be bad, and you just gotta let none of that get to your head, you know, because people can say whatever they want over their phone, but most of the time they wouldn't be able to say it to your face. So,
like, what was the next steps after, you know, you got your viral hit? You know, what were you thinking next? Were you like, yo, I want to continue to create this kind of content, or hey, this is an opportunity to grow this or grow that or expand this kind of network? You know, can you give us a little background on that? You know, what was your next steps after getting that?
Yeah, bro. I mean, honestly, like, when it all first started, I wasn't really thinking about it too much. Like, I wasn't thinking about that it's going to be this career, or like, what's my next move or anything. Like, I was really just having fun. That's still what it is. And like, I kind of want to keep that for as long as I can, you know, because a lot of people really do like use the internet for work and like, for a career. Yeah. And I just can't say that I've like sat down and thought about it too much in that way, where I'm like, okay, I definitely want to make this be my all-time thing, what I do full-time. you know, let me focus on like TikTok moves and all that. Like honestly, to this day, I'm still just having fun with it, you know.
Yeah.
So I think when that thing first dropped, I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. And people were texting me and they're like, I just saw you. And I'm like, well, I don't know how I feel about TikTok because, you know, it's like a lot of people are famous on there, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, it was kind of like,
it's almost like you take fame. It's almost like a humbling feeling for you. Is it not overwhelming? Do you feel like? How do you feel when you're looking at fame and comparing it to, you know, other creators or other content creators?
Right.
Like, because you know, my next question was gonna be like, who are some of your content creators that inspire you? But you know, it seems like you're kind of just like in your own lane, the way you handle, you know, blowing up or whatever. You know, how is that? Being, how am I gonna phrase this? So like basically like having your own idea of like, okay, like I blew up on TikTok or whatever. I'm gonna still do whatever I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna just get to my head. So like, how do you look at other content creators? You know, like what's your perspective on them? Like, I'll use an example of TikTokers that dance or other TikTokers that do, you know, art, or you know, you blew up off of, you know, your content. How do you feel about TikTok in general, or like other content creators?
yeah, totally. I think there's such a wide range, bro. There's such a wide range of art and creativity on that app, and like I've seen so much. And my personal opinion on it is that I think it's beautiful, honestly. I think that if it's working for you and it's a lifestyle that you like and it's not too much pressure or it doesn't affect your mental health and you're enjoying yourself, do whatever you want on that app. You know what I mean? Like, as long as it's not disrespectful to people or like harmful to yourself or harmful to other people or like spreads negativity.
Yeah.
I think any content, anything that you can create and post online is beautiful. It should be seen. Life is about like exploring things and discovering and learning, and you can learn a lot from that app and a lot of people's work. So
Yeah.
I think it's dope.
Yeah, no, man, that's super dope. That's super dope. So like, you know, like from growing from TikTok, you know, what's some of your next, you know, moves after this? Are you using some of your, you know, TikTok connects, or some of the, you know, some of the connects that you're able to get now? Are you using that, you know, to move on to your next career path, such as film or music? Like, how is that?
That's an interesting question, honestly, but I feel like I haven't really, like I said, like I haven't really like sat down and put an idea on what I want to do for my next thing. I know for a fact that I have wanted a career in cinema for a very long time, and I do intend to pursue that. In terms of like TikTok connects and all that, like I'm not even like that yet. You know? Like, it's still like
I had to ask, you know,
I'm
TikTok
really,
connects.
Yeah, bro. No, there's so much that you can connect with on like and make connections with on through the internet and through this app. Like it's pretty powerful, I'd say. But in terms of like myself, like I'm kind of just riding the wave at the moment, honestly. I got an agent and I'm waiting for work to come in, like film work, commercials and stuff. And, you know, just see where life takes me.
Yeah.
My goal is that I do want to be working in film in the next couple of years, but for the moment, I'm just like enjoying this and just having fun. Like, I just love spreading the good energy. Really.
Nah, I feel like, no, that's awesome. Do you have any like you know, outside from what you do now? Do you have any hobbies currently? You know, or do you? You know, are you into music? You know, do you like, you know, do you cook by any chance? You know, do you, play any of the sports?
I can make literally the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich, bro. Like, that's about as much as I can cook. I don't know how to cook for shit. But any other activities I do, I don't really do much other than soccer and listen to music. I like spending a lot of my time like in a relaxation mode.
Yeah.
To kind of like stay safe, you know.
Yeah.
Especially during this time, like COVID and everything, it's bad. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot that can go wrong if you don't take care of yourself, and I've been spending a lot of time taking care of myself.
Yeah, that's definitely important.
I personally feel like everything you do in the current moment is to prepare for the future. So how you're taking care of your body, you know, what you eat, how much you're exercising, and all that. That's all going to be for the future. Like, like what you do and how you are when you're older. You know what I mean? So I'm like active. I love to go on hikes and I love to be at the beach.
Yeah.
And I love playing soccer too.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. So also, like, I know there's gonna be probably like younger, you know, viewers watching this, and you know, they'll probably, you know, handle different things in life or different situations. You know, how do you handle, you know, do you ever feel kind of stressed out or sad, or you know, whether that's through work or like what you're saying about, you know, what you're saying earlier about, you know, COVID and, you know, affecting, you know, the film industry. How do you overcome stress?
I'm so glad you asked that, bro, because I get a lot of people to ask me that, like over direct messages and stuff, and reaching out to me and say, hey, you know, like I've been really stressed recently, and anxiety and depression has a big part of my life, and, you know, and I struggle with it too. Like it affects me too on a daily basis. Anxiety. For me, I never took it seriously, you know, before, but I've definitely experienced it now for the first time during COVID, during this time. Like, it's rough, and it can be powerful, especially for this younger generation that kind of have been forced to grow up, you know, with full access to technology and the internet and social media. Social media has such a big impact on your mental health.
Yeah.
But the ways that I kind of like deal with it is like, I don't know. For me personally, it's music. Music connects to me and it like affects me in ways I don't think I've related to with many people. You know what I mean? Like it's powerful for me, and I like to kind of just embrace it and let go of my worries for the most part. And I usually coincide music with nature, so I'm out, you know, walking or hiking, and I got my headphones in, and I'm just kind of like present. I'm like, I'm not down here, I'm up here. So that really takes the stress away from a lot of things in my mind, because you're in just a natural state. You know, you're breathing good oxygen when you're around trees, because trees give off oxygen, you know, and good oxygen with music. You know, for some people though, it's not that easy, you know. Some people don't even have like they don't live anywhere near kind of like that sort of terrain or area. It's just sort of like city only and stuff. And I don't know, bro. I think that with time, you know, people find their own ways to cope and live with it, because that's the best thing that I've ever been told is just learning how to live with it, you know, because you can have these incredibly tough times, but they can be during a good patch. And then you can have a really good time during a bad patch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, most definitely, man.
So
that's such a great response. You know?
Thank you.
Yeah, and you know, and also from that too, like, you know, with some of the stuff that you do, you know, when you are, you know, when you're in a good mood, you know, like how do you, you know, how do you, what's the word, splurge, you know, on yourself? You know, are you the kind of person that's like, yo, I want to get all these shoes, or, you know, are you into fashion? Are you the kind of person who's like, yo, I collect, you know, paintings, or I collect coins? You know, I know everyone has their things, you know. Like, I know personally for me, I'm a sneaker dude. I have a bunch of Jordans. I love retros.
You're fired.
Yeah, I'm wearing some Air Max right now, but you know, outside from this, you know, I got some retros and Air Jordans. You know, those are my special splurge. You know, what are some of your things that, like, you know, I collect this, or this is my thing?
Yeah, for sure. I love thrifting, honestly. I'm not too much of like a sneakerhead, or like, I haven't really been too into fashion, but I love to go thrifting.
Yeah.
I love to find stuff, because I feel like I get really lucky when I go.
Yeah.
Because I'll just go and see the most like coolest stuff, and like, okay, I can make this work, you know? Yeah. That's the only thing I really collect is like, you know, thrifted clothes. Other than that, I splurge myself with just good energy, good people.
Yeah.
And music, again. See, like when I'm sad, listen to music. When I'm happy, listen to music. And I love to dance on my own, just be like goofy as shit.
Yeah.
You know, but
Who's some of your favorite artists? You know, you keep bringing up music. You know, what's some of your favorite genres or who your go-to top three? Who your top three artists?
that is such a tough question, bro. Alright, but
you don't have to do top three. We can arrange to
okay,
5, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be any order.
Bet. Alright. I've literally been listening to The Weeknd since he dropped his EPs, bro.
Okay.
The Weeknd for me, pretty much the greatest artist of our generation. So The Weeknd is up there. I've really been like vibing with Brent Faiyaz recently.
Yeah,
I love his music. We were playing that in the car. And I think his voice is sick. He's only 24, so he's got a big career ahead of him, I think. Like an even bigger one than he has now. And then my third artist would be Snow Allegra. I love her voice.
Snow Allegra's amazing.
You know,
I'm a huge fan. I became a fan when she was sampled on Drake's song.
Yes, bro.
More Life, and I think it was the feelings. And even on that tape that she dropped, she's super great.
Her voice is so beautiful. They use it in an Apple commercial because it's like fine wine. Yeah. So The Weeknd, Brent Faiyaz, Snow Allegra. Those are my top 3 artists right now.
Hey, that's dope. So okay, so who are some of your if those are your top 3 artists, do you have like your favorite songs, or do you have like what are some of your favorite like go-to songs? You're like
even more specific.
Yo, this is the track I listen to, because personally for me, I have my tracks I listen to when I want to paint. Some of the tracks I listen to will be like Lucky, or if I just want to be in a smooth mood, I listen to Drake, or some Kanye West, or some Big Sean here and there. But, there's moments where there's moments I'm working out, or I'm listening to some Kid Cudi. Do you have any specific artists you're like, yo, I'm doing this, I need to listen to this artist pronto?
For sure.
Who your goes to, whether you're driving or just chilling.
Yeah, honestly, I can't say like I like set any type of artist one way for one thing or not. I kind of just, it depends on the vibe of the mood that I'm in,
Yeah.
I could tell you what I'm listening to right now on my Spotify.
Yeah.
Let me see my most recent likes. Oh, okay.
Oh, also to add on to that, have you been making music at all? Like, have you ever, dabbled in that area?
Bro, thank you for asking me that. Honestly, I never thought about making music pretty much my entire life. I just
wow.
I can't sing.
Plot twist.
But
you guys are watching now, it's a plot twist.
Whoa, why are you say this, bro? You didn't know me, bro, but let me tell you, I just... That's
why he's here, so you can know him. Yeah.
Honestly, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it just because I've done like a lot of like vocal work. And I worked on my voice for theater and like other kind of just extracurricular outside of school activities, voice work wise, and I think I have an okay voice, so I might dabble in it.
No, but that's awesome that that you are expanding outside your horizon from there as well. Let's talk about actually how you've been handling the lockdown, the pandemic, just because I think that'd be a really cool topic to bring up, seeing how different people have handled it. So like, on your end, what have you been doing during, the lockdown? Damn, that sounds like some movie shit.
The lockdown, bro.
It
really is, unfortunately, a lockdown, bro. But for me, honestly, I can't say that I've been, too disappointed with being quarantined. Honestly, it's been healthy for me.
Yeah.
Personally, because I could say that I don't struggle with like staying at home or being alone. Like, you can accomplish a lot and learn about yourself a lot, when you have that time on your own. And I think I've learned a lot about myself during the lockdown. But some ways that I'm coping is just not, thinking about, what can I not go do because it's closed? What restaurant can I not go to? What bar can I not go to? And instead of just like creating my own areas and my own things to do, Like I said, you can still go on hikes, and hikes are, you can't like lock down a hike.
Yeah.
It's part of.
You're still able to go out, to nature.
Exactly.
As long as they're wearing masks and being protected.
Exactly.
Make sure you guys wear masks and be protected out here.
We are staying safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but yeah, of course, like make sure you're still going out in nature, enjoying fresh
absolutely.
air while you're, being safe.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. All right,
Thank
man.
you.
Let's talk about, the future. What are some of your plans looking like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, like where do you see yourself and what do you envision yourself to be in,
Yeah.
as you're working towards this?
Well, I definitely think that in a couple of years I'll be fulfilling my dream and living my dream of making beautiful cinema, being a storyteller and creating art in that way. Hopefully, maybe I've made some music a couple of years from now, But I know for a fact that pretty much for the rest of my life, I want to be a part of contributing and spreading good energy and peace to the world and giving back to communities that need it. I see myself in the future fighting climate change and global warming as much as we can. And just trying to eliminate hatred and racism, that things that cloud our minds and our time, the negative things that consume the people that we live with, because it affects everyone. So I want to be making movies, hopefully making music, and making people's lives better.
Hey man, that's awesome, bro. No,
Thank you, man.
I love to hear it. Let's get into some of the fun questions. What's some of your favorite? Let's start with TV shows.
Yeah.
Do you have top 5 favorite TV shows?
Definitely cannot give you a top 5, but I can give you my favorite TV show for sure.
Okay.
I've watched many times Breaking Bad, bro. Literally happens to be, I think, one of the best shows ever made. But other than that, I don't really watch that much TV. Like I said, like I'm usually doing my own thing,
Yeah.
creating my own entertainment for myself.
Okay.
But Breaking Bad, my favorite show for sure.
Nah, man, that's dope. What about if you can travel anywhere in the world and you have to live there? What place would that be?
I'd probably choose Brazil.
How come?
Well, I've always wanted to go to Brazil, honestly. I'm fascinated by the culture over there, and the language is very similar to Spanish. But mainly because I think I just thrive considering it's very tropical.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've created a tropical vibe for myself here in Southern California, so I feel at home over there.
Oh man, that's dope. That's dope.
Thank you.
What about okay, let's get into like cars, like if you can have, are you into like any like luxurious like cars or like jets or like any of that? If you could have any car, what's some of your whips, what's some of the cars, that you're like,
damn,
this is definitely a car I'll definitely get.
That's a good question. I honestly can't say that I'm a big car guy. I haven't like luxury cars. I haven't really like caught my attention, mainly because I've never been able to afford something like that.
So, my bad for cutting you, but like I was gonna bleed into another question. Outside from all that like luxurious shit, not luxurious stuff. Like, if you could have like, are you more into like are you outside from? Are you not into like materialistic things in life? Like, what's your? I think the question would have been like, if you could have, like anything, what's your luxury, whether it's like, charity or, helping out or doing something, what's luxurious to you, better question stated.
Honestly, I think I look at luxury and like success and, financial success as kind of not so much important in terms of like fulfillment in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to be able to have a home where I can live, because surviving and living every single day, that is being rich to me. That is what like is more important than financial, success or stability. I guess it's just being able to survive and to live and to be happy. So I definitely, my luxury would be a home where I can survive and live.
Yeah.
And other than that, I think I just buy like a bunch of crazy ass shit, a bunch of like jet skis and stuff. Other than that, I don't know. I just live life, you know?
Yeah, man. No, that's awesome. You know, before we end this interview, you know, do you have any motivation for like any like the upcoming youth or any like young creators, you know, that are hoping to, you know, to be in your position or even to have like the same mindset you have? You seem like, you know, you're very clairvoyant. You know what you want in life, and you're just enjoying everything, you know, as it's going along. You know, do you have any motivation, you know, before we end this interview?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say to anybody that's watching, I would say to stay true to yourself. You know what I mean? You probably hear that all the time. People say that all the time, like, oh, just be you. And you probably think that'd be cliche to hear, but there shouldn't be anyone in your entire life that should have the effect on you that would make you want to change yourself for that person or for anything. You know, stay true to who you are and what you believe. Stand up for yourself and find what makes you happy, you know? Don't do something that's not worth your time.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, you're worth it. Everyone is worth it. Everyone is worth living.
Yeah.
Everyone is worth enjoying their life. You know, going to work every day, 9 to 5, like struggling just to make it. All that is unfortunately like the norm of living in modern society. But I think you should be focusing more on your mental health, more on your relationships with others, and your peace, your inner peace. So that would be my advice, is to stay true to yourself and to take care of yourself.
Yeah, man, no, that's super awesome, man. Thank you so much, you know, for coming on an interview. You know, before, you know, here it is. You know, here's the final reveal.
All right, bro, I'm waiting for this.
Yeah, it's still a little, you know, it still has to dry a little bit, but here it is, man. Here it is. Thank you so much. Appreciate you so much.
All right, brother, it's been my pleasure.
Here's the final piece.
Yo, no way.
Yeah, so I based it off on a lot of, you know, like from Samurai Jack.
This is beautiful, dog.
And even with a lot of like the peaceful statements, whether it's like nature and trees, so I try to, you know, really target the abstract on that side.
Look at that. I love it, bro. And you put pink in there, my favorite color. And I love this, dude. This is so open to interpretation, and you got the Samurai Jack in there.
Appreciate it so much, man.
It's beautiful, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for, you know, for coming on Pain Interviews, and you know, we're hoping for great success, for amazing, you know, amazingness, abundanceness to continue on over the years, and
peace and
get
positivity.
This stuff going.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Pain Interviews. Come get painted.